Tonight, we Hairy Game Lords have been playing Rebuilding Seattle. What did we think? Let's go. Slightly Beardy James here, and Rebuilding Seattle is, right, firstly, a very weighty game because it's full of cardboard. There's so much cardboard in this game. And it needs extra baggies. I put extra baggies in, and now everything is beautifully organised into colour. There we go. So if you want to get this game, get baggies. Rebuilding Seattle is a few things all together. At the end of the day, it is drafting cards with payment. So there's this big, formidable board. Look at the size of this score tracker filling up your table. That was the first thing I noticed. I was like, what on earth? These numbers are huge. But it's warranted because there's the space at the bottom, which is the space for all of the cards that you're going to be drawing. You're going to be choosing little cards, which are buildings. Here we go. Here's a few of them. So these are from level 3. That one is a 3 longer, and it is retail, I think. Increases the quality of your retail. This one is a yellow transports one, which is an end game scoring one. This one is a little L-shaped 3 of culinary goods, and it is also end game scoring for the yellows. And this one here is one of Pete's favourites, the greys. These are kind of like educational buildings, and this will give you profit for your different culinary places. Now, as you're going to be doing this, you're going to be putting them down onto big chunky tiles. Here's my bag full of tiles, and you're going to be laying these out in whatever shape you want around your starting city or district of your city. And essentially, pay your money, put your buildings down, and it literally says step 3, profit in this game. So the rule book is short, it is concise. I'm not going to lie. There were a couple of mistakes, like a spelling error that I noticed, which bugs me because I like rulebooks that have no spelling errors in ever. And there's this handy reminder on the back. It is short, it is clear. I picked this up in the night, played a solo game, really enjoyed the solo version. It is super chill, and it's a very, very convincing Dave the Grey AI in the solo. I felt like I was playing with Dave the Grey, blocking my every move, stopping me from scoring well. So well done for creating Dave the Grey as a stack of solo cards. You'll be very very proud of you. So as you're going through this game, you're trying to kind of balance increasing your amenities, increasing the quality of your amenities, and don't think too much into this, reducing your population. And when you do those things efficiently, you will profit. And at the end of the game, it's not just how much money you've got, but it is how many points you've got. So, yeah, there's quite a few things I'd like to say about this. Firstly, I think the theme is, I don't know, there's no reason why this should be Rebuilding Seattle. It could be anything. It's like, to me, I was just thinking like, it is tiles, it is colourful things, it is, I don't know. The only thing that's Seattle-y about it is you see Pioneer Square and you see Capitol Hill, but that means nothing to me as somebody who's never been to Seattle. So the theme, for me, wasn't too fussed on it. I get excited about a city building game. This one was alright in terms of theme. The other thing that I was going to say about this is I just didn't get the tile laying. So there's loads and loads of these different shaped tiles. And excuse me. And you're trying to put these in onto your kind of like land in a very efficient way. But at the end of the day, I really didn't have to think hard about that. And it might as well have just been me collecting the cards. There are a couple of endgame scoring cards which are about kind of adjacencies. But it's not a hard mini game in the game to kind of lay out the tiles properly. For me, I could have done without that. And I quite like I like Tetranomanos and fitting shapes together, so I don't know. I was hoping for more. Saying all those things, though, this game is really, really good. I love the interaction in this game. The way that you're trying to do your own thing, but when it comes to scoring, there are only 6 event cards every round. There are 3, like these ones, for the immunities, which give you score. And there are 3 for the kind of like... Oh, I did turn it upside down. There are 3 for the... Thanks, guys. Didn't tell me that one. There are 3 for the kind of like the extra things. So there's the grey buildings, which reduce your population. There's the natural kind of like wonders and stuff like that, which kind of give you kind of points from your tiles that you've got out. And you can only do them once. And timing is so crucial in this game. I love the way they've done that. I just need to tell you that this game is a really great game where you're doing your own thing and what you do impacts other people.
There we go.
Yes, that is a very well way of... Yes, words good. Now, I didn't win this, and I know. I thought I was doing very well, but I did not. I don't know. I think this is a great little game.
Hipster King here with my thoughts on rebuilding Seattle. Right, first things first, it's a win. A win's a win. Just get that out there. Dave, you're not here. Didn't matter. What I really, really liked about this game, it's the interaction between the sort of key tracks that are on your board. So you've got your 3 tracks. You've got your dancing, your money, and your food.
Dancing isn't industry.
Entertainment. I guess that's shopping and food. And I guess and what you're trying to do is there are certain buildings that you can buy that will help with your little polyomino puzzle bit, which we'll come back to in a minute. And some of those will enable you to move your cubes up this track. And then when you so let's say you up your food track, when you take the event card and you trigger that event, you're going to score the points on this that you've moved up here. So it's down at the bottom, you're not getting many points, you only get 6 points. Up here, you're up at 28 whole victory points. That's some big victory points if you can max out one of these tracks or a couple of the tracks. However, the way the scoring works on here, as you add buildings to your board, they're going to move your tracker along here. And you've got an orange, pink and a blue tracker going along here as well. And you've also got, and you start at number 11, you've also got your population. Now, I guess because of the way it works with the way you can take down and decrease your population is through education. I wonder if it's about these things all require money, and I wonder if it's about education providing the population with the money to go and use these things.
Is it the wash masses?
So as you educate your people using the grey buildings, you're able to bring your population closer to the cubes that are moving this way. And so if you've got, say, your orange cube is on 4 and your population is 8, and you score 10 points, when you score that one, you're going to lose the difference between your population and your cube here. So getting your population down and moving your cubes forward is really, really important, because the closer those things are together, the more of these points you're going to score. And that's kind of, in essence, the balance in the game. You've got to try and get these up because you get bigger points, but you've also got to have your population and your trackers on this part of the board close together. So picking your buildings and going after and trying to work out which of these tracks you're going to build on is really, really important. So I went after, because James said at the beginning, bringing down your population is important. I heard that was the one, and he said go after 1 or 2 of these tracks. So I took that. I thought, right, pink and blue have got the most value, so I'm going to try and get those, and they give you choice because the blue gives you points and cash. This allows you to have points or cash, and this one is only points. So I thought, I'm going to take these 2 and I'm going to try and get these up as much as I can, and then I'm going to try and get my people educated so I decrease my population really, really quickly. And that was my strategy. and that was what the final part of the strategy, which I'm going to throw in a little bit about, is some of the cards. So some of the cards do this. You increase your track, so that's increase it. You get a 3-1, and you increase your pink track here 3. So you get 3 pink buildings, but you also get to improve the quality by 1. So that's what some of the buildings look like, and you have to buy those buildings. But some of the buildings have got the same by a building, but they've got end of game scoring points. So you can choose to try and get these up, or you can try and get end game scoring points. So there's always a bit of balance about what kind of buildings you can get, and also how much cash you've got to buy those buildings. So I really like the balance in this game, and what I really liked, I was kind of sitting pretty on what I thought was going to be a very, very good score. I'd worked out I was looking really, really good. I was scoring well towards the end. And I was thinking, I've got this in the bag. And then I did my scoring, and then Ange started doing his end game scoring. And he was 2 points behind me.
Oof.
And that margin, I decided to trigger. I'd already maxed out my pink track, so I did a couple of things that I managed to bring my population down. I enacted a law. The pink card is still there. The pink event is still there. So I'm thinking, every time I'm choosing not to do that, somebody could do that. I get 3 extra points if I do that. So I wanted to do a couple of other things. And I kept, is that kind of, do I do it now? So I managed to get another couple of end game scoring points, which gave me a couple of extra points. And I then was able to trigger that pink card, which gave me the 3 points. That 3 points was the difference that won me the game. So actually, this was even closer than I thought it had been, because if somebody had played a slightly different card, or Andrew would have had me on that last point, and I thought I was well ahead, but he had a completely different strategy, and we scored 2 points difference. And I love a game where there is the option there, where different ways of playing, different ways of thinking can create a very different way to a very similar point tally, which is it's a well balanced, well thought out game. Really, really enjoyed this, and would happily play this again and again. Well done, Wizkids.
Bearded lady here. Now, I absolutely enjoyed this game so much, loved it. And it was a case of, I think it was on the second round, I was like, I'm really, really enjoying this game, and I would happily play this again, because I could almost see sort of like how the game was going to pan out in this round, and I was thinking, I'm already thinking of better ways that I could play the first round again. So there is so much to do, which is great. There's, depending on how many players are, depends on how many more locations come out. More of these come out, which have obviously more buildings on, so you can buy those. James says that he wasn't a fan of the whole Tetrisy whatever. What's the official
Oh.
that? I really liked it. Now James likes it when it's all kind of like neat and tidy and into the whole thing, but I was like, I hate those. I can't work it out. Whereas me, what was really cooler is that you've got this bag here full of additional sort of locations that you can build out on. Each of these locations comes with 3 of these natural things on it. So the trees, the water, and the hill or the mountain. I had end game scoring that would help me get points for those different natural things going on. So that was really cool. As you can see, you could build anywhere on there, and if you build over those, obviously you don't get the benefit of them either in end game or in the game. There's one of the events that triggers different scoring, either it's money or it's points from those little locations. So I really liked that, and there was a point when because I'd bought a building and I thought, oh crap, I can't properly fit it in and around these tiles. I'm going to have to build over these locations. It really, really annoyed me. But But this whole thing of like adding it to and expanding your district is fantastic. Really, really enjoyed it. You all get given landmarks at the beginning of the game, and this is a bit of luck really, and then you have to strategically choose which ones you are going to build. So you get given 3 and you choose 2. These are quite a lot of money to build. So I had a $12 one and a $14 one. That's a high amount of money because the money is scarce in this game, especially in round 1. You start off with, was it 8? Yep. And you can obviously you this land costs 4. Cards can cost from 3 to 4 to 5. So you're using up your money pretty quick, but it helps with the kind of strategy of where do I go, what do I do here and there. My landmark cards worked together really, really well, and that helped me in that end scoring. So I had this one here, which gave me, in fact, when I built it, it gave me 3 of these extra additional land pieces straight away after I built it, and it meant I got, at the end of the game, 1 point for every additional land piece that I built onto my map. This one here gave me 2 victory points per little sea area that I had on my sprawling district. And so those 2 really worked together, and it was brilliant on that end scoring to see where Pete was, and then for me to be like, now it's my turn to count. And I think there was, I can hear, as I'm counting up into the 30s, people are like, what? And it was great to do that massive jump, get past the 100 mark, and come just 2 points off winning. So really, really, really enjoyed this game. Cannot wait to play it again. There's lots of moving parts, lots of things to think about, but it's not hard, it's not difficult. It's a great kind of like, this works. A really fun and clever game. One that all of us Hairy Game Lords who played it tonight thoroughly enjoyed.
One last thing. So, in terms of this being a really good game, yes, it is. Replayability, very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these very different player boards. Each one of them comes with 3 laws that are unique to that player. Okay, those ones are a little bit thematic. I'll give them that. But on top of that, you've got these, which are the starting areas. Didn't show them before. You can see that there's some starting districts. Each one of those is very similar, but each one is unique, which is very cool. And there are probably, 20 landmark cards. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. Here they are. There's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads. So every time you play this, it will be different. It will be fresh. And all of the cards that are put out, just like nice kind of like fresh game every time. So I think, racing!